What? Zombies? This early? No ammo. Luckily I have still my crossbow. Damn it, no bolts! Wait a minute. I know. Hello my friends, you keep asking me all the time which throwing weapons I would take for the apocalyptic scenario. So today I'm going to show you some of my favorite ones. So let's get started. Usually you see on my channel dart throwing knives, but in the apocalyptic scenario I want them sharp as possible. So for example, this strange knife that was used in the warfare, it's perfect solution. Or you can see often the Glock 78. This is the army knife from Austria. This is really amazing, sharp EDC. But don't forget, you can also throw in the last case scenario your EDC folding knives. I really don't recommend it, but if you have to use it, it's also possible, alright? So first thing on my list would be sharp knives. These two gotta be on my list as well, Shuriken and the Chakram. Shuriken was used mainly for the destruction, but its modern version by Cold Steel is totally insane for the penetration. So in the combat scenario, this would definitely work. And of course, the famous Chakram used by Sikh warriors was definitely insane throwing weapon, used also for the handheld combat. So this is approved by centuries. Really scary throwing weapon. Hurlbat and throwing cross I will put into the same category because they look almost the same and they can stick almost every single time. These weapons actually were banned in the medieval times because it was so easy to use them. Even for the peasants, it was able to pierce the armor and actually kill the horses from the knights. So this in the apocalyptic scenario is definitely approved. If I want to dig something in really bad times, I wouldn't take the ordinary shovel. Instead of that, I would take the trench shovel used in the World War II by the soldiers. This was used for the handheld combat, so this was very effective, and I totally love to throw shovels for no spin and even spin. Really cool. In your bug out bag, you definitely need some sharp machete. So my definitely choice would be famous Kukri machete. This one I would use for the throwing, but you can't leave the empty-handed. So one machete you can throw and other one you're gonna keep for the combat. So in this way you have always on you some weapon. So machete definitely for the apocalypse. If you want also some blunt weapon in your collection, I can definitely recommend the Gunstock War Club. This was used by Native Americans for the handheld combat, but also can be used for the throwing as well. I recommend it with the full spin rotation. Another thing that you definitely need on your list are some sharp axes. One, I would definitely pick some heavier one like for the chopping, but in the worst case scenario, this one you can throw as well. But for the combat scenario and stuff like that, I would use what Frank Warriors was using, and that's the Francisca axe. This one, it's even bouncing from the ground if you don't stick it. So definitely badass for throwing. And if you want to go really hardcore, you can make yourself, this is just like a pipe, but in the Francisca shape. So this is totally insane for the apocalypse and the zombie weapons, because you can use it for the blunt impact, but also for the chopping and throwing. So really cool. If you want to keep distance from your target, you definitely need the proper spear. This thing will give you huge reach, so this is big advantage in the combat. You can pierce with it and definitely throw it no problem. But if you don't have spear, you can make your own with your knife. Just put some stick with it, rope and you have your DIY spear, or you can just make the sharpening the stick and throwing that. So spear you definitely need in your bug out bag. If you are training HEMA or practice with a sword, I'm definitely sure you want to have one. So katana, used by the samurai warrior, would be definitely my choice. And since this was part of the Shuriken Jitsu, you can throw it as well. But if you don't want to have an expensive katana, there are also other versions like this two-handed machete katana. You can use it for the chopping, self-defense, but this is totally amazing for the throwing. Last but not least thing on my list is the Warhammer. This thing was able to pierce the armor from the knights. It's totally awesome for the smashing, destroying stuff, and since you have this nice piercing point, it's also amazing for the throwing. I really love throwing Warhammers. We had a lot of badass throwing weapons today, so let me know in the comment section below which one was your favorite. And if you want to support the channel, there is going to be a link for the Wolfram website where you can get some of these weapons. But for today, that's it. So thank you buddy for watching. Share, like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.